Hi, hey, welcome back everybody. Good to be here, good to be back. Ed Ponzi here, your FX educator here on behalf of FX Street once again. And we're in Aussie yen. We're long at 82.83. It's currently sitting at 82 point, I'm sorry, we're long at 83.82. We're currently up a couple of pips on that. So just up a tiny bit. Buying it on the moving average, FX Ed style. Okay, so if anyone has any questions or if there's a particular currency pair that you'd like me to take a look at, let me know and we'll analyze it right here, live, real time. That's how we do it. Or, it could be any chart, commodity, a stock, an index, anything at all, right? That's how we like to do it. Well, we got ourselves, why did we buy this one on the moving average? Because we saw some support on the moving average back here. So we wanted to use that to our advantage. We are looking at this area up here, 85.40 as a potential short, so we may get out of the trade up there. But there is no official target. Our stop is 83.45. Okay, and let's roll into this. Let's roll onward here. Now, as we look at some of the other pairs out there, we did have some other setups out there. Aussie CAD is coming down closer to our entry point. Our entry point, I should say it's coming closer again to our entry point. Entry is about 99.60. That's getting close, right? It's a big move down overnight in Aussie CAD. Okay. So that one's getting a little bit closer. And just taking a peek around because pound yen doesn't look very good. Just looking at some of the other yen pairs here. Euro yen, pretty boring looking. Dollar yen, we want this to come higher. To short it closer to 113, maybe 112.50. Right? We want to try to take advantage of this trend line, which we have used successfully before. We used it successfully in this area. New Zealand yen. Wow, look at that. We're already long Aussie yen, but look at this. Bounce, 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 bounce. Came through here a little bit, but wow. New Zealand yen would also be an opportunity, maybe even a better one than Aussie yen. So, maybe if the Aussie yen doesn't work out, maybe we'll flip over to the New Zealand yen if we get an opportunity here. New Zealand certainly seems to be the stronger of the two. If we put Aussie and New Zealand side by side, New Zealand certainly is the stronger of the two. And wow, although that could be about to reverse, look at that. Getting really close to support here for Aussie, New Zealand. Right, we reversed here, 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 right? 103.50 looks like an important number. We just got under 104. Looks like we're at our lowest point on Aussie, New Zealand in about 4 months, and we're getting very, very close to support. So I wouldn't be jumping on this train now because it looks like the ride might be just about over, right? We're coming into support. So I would not pile into this trade, into this short trade here on Aussie, New Zealand, because it looks like the party might be coming to an end. So maybe it's a good thing that we're in Aussie yen instead of New Zealand yen, because New Zealand yen has been the better of the two. But according to this chart, Aussie yen might be about to become better than New Zealand yen, if you think about it. Right, because Aussie might be about to overtake New Zealand if this chart reverses. It would seem to say that. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. We didn't look at CAD yen, so I'll take a peek at CAD yen. CAD yen, a whole lot of nothing here, in my humble opinion. A little bit of a pullback. It would be nice if it started to trend a little bit better than this. I shouldn't say a whole lot of nothing. I mean, there is some support here on the 10 and maybe again on the 10 today. So yeah, it isn't nothing, but could be better. Okay. And of course, today, Canada, retail sales, better than expected. Better than expected retail sales. 0.8 for the month of April, looking for 0.2. And if you back out automobile sales, which are a big part of retail sales in Canada, are auto sales. If you back out auto sales, it's still a good month, right? Housing price index in the U.S. stronger than expected. That's good if you're a homeowner. In the U.S., housing prices moving up. Not so good if you're on the sidelines. Housing prices moving up in the U.S. I guess that's good. It's bad news if you're a renter, right? Housing prices are moving up. Well, not necessarily bad news if you're a renter. If you're a renter who aspires to buy, it's definitely bad news. What's coming up? Speech from Powell. There are so many speakers giving speeches this week and every week, it seems. You know, it's hard to take them all seriously. Why are car sales significant in Canada? That's a really good reason, a really good question. You know, Canada's economy is just smaller than the US, the UK, Europe, and you know it's a commodity. It's a commodity currency, and retail sales. You know, out of retail sales, auto sales just make up a huge percentage. Let me see if I can pull up a figure really quick. It's a good question. I forget the exact number. But auto sales just make up a very large percentage. Just a second. Take me 2 seconds. Apparently it makes up a large percentage of the retail sales. And so they break it out separately because it can skew the number. So they call it core retail sales in Canada if you back out the automobiles. Okay, automobiles account for 20% of retail sales in Canada. That's high. 20% of all retail sales in Canada are auto sales. But they tend to be very volatile. So why are auto sales volatile? Well, I don't know how it works in other countries, but in the U.S., we have very large sales that center around our holidays. For example, early September, there is a huge auto sales. The new models come out in September, and so they have a big Labor Day sale, which is early September. And so everybody waits. So nobody buys a car in August. So auto sales will be like 0 in August, and then they'll quadruple in September. So it'll throw the number off to a great degree. So you'll have a number with the auto sales and without the auto sales. But yeah, in Canada, retail sales, 20% of retail sales is automobile sales. So it's very high. So that's why they break it down in Canada. Great question, Richard. Okay. I did not know it was 20%. All right. Later on, I'm sorry, for tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow's PMI, services PMI day in Europe. Lots of PMI figures, manufacturing PMI for a lot of the European countries and for the US, right? We're going to get some PMI figures. So PMI is great because it's a leading indicator. Like when you start to see strong PMI, then usually you'll see it's leading for GDP. Okay, but you usually see it in the PMI first. So a lot of PMI figures coming out tomorrow. That's great, though. It's a great question about the because you don't usually see other countries breaking out the auto sales separately from retail sales. All right, let's get back to the charts. Okay, so anyway, so Canada had some pretty decent figures there. That's a really good bounce, by the way, on Canada yen on that 10. You see how that candle's green? If we had bought Canada yen instead of Aussie yen today, we'd be up a lot more. Canada yen 83.38 is the moving average, but the current price is 83.84. So we would be up 45 pips right now, if not bad for one. Four or five pips. Yeah, we're up 4 pips. We would be up 45 on CAD yen. Instead, we're up 4 on Aussie yen. Oh well, such is life. Much better bounce on the Canada yen. All right. Okay. Let's keep moving along here. We'll see if we can find another trade before we break out of this. I'll be back with you next week. Then I'll be on vacation first week of July. I'll be at the beach for July 4th weekend. You know, they keep spotting Bruce Springsteen in my beach town. He has been photographed several times in recent weeks in my little beach town. Will Springsteen be playing on the beach? Good question. Let's take a peek. Let's move on. Some more. How about Euro CAD? Is CAD doing anything against the euro? It's a weird chart, huh? That chart does not speak to me. You know, I look at this chart, I see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low. Is it a dip? Is it a change in trend? I don't know. It just doesn't speak to me. Pound Canada. Wow, what a sharp drop that was. That had to be shocking for a lot of people, that 2-day drop. June 9th and 12th. What a brutal move. Pretty ugly. This is pretty volatile. This is a very volatile pair too. It can be the spread. I've noticed on this one, the spread can vary quite a bit depending on which broker you use. Like the difference between, say, Oanda and FXCM can be a pretty great difference on the spread on Pound Canada, but it can be a real mover. It seems to be coming into support here. Thinking about it, let's see what some of these indicators are saying. It's sitting right on its 200. See, I see this is coming into support. It's sitting right on its 200-day moving average. Is it going to break? Are these moving averages going to cross? I don't really put a lot of weight on that. Wow, huge ugly top in the past. Just trying to get my head around this one. I'm thinking I want to short rallies here. don't really see any support. I mean, any real significance to that 10-day exponential. I'm going to let that go. It looks like it wants to break down and go further down. I'd rather sell a rally, but I don't think it wants to rally. It just doesn't. Look at all those tiny little spinning tops. It's just, you had this huge drop, right? Here's how I'm looking at this. You had this, the bears are in charge, right? And then the bulls have their chance to fight back. And all they can do is form a bunch of spinning tops and little like indecision type candles. They're not dojis, but they're similar to dojis. They're just small bodied candles. In other words, the bears have control. The bulls cannot mount a reply. When the bulls finally get a nice green candle, the bears snatch it right out of their hands. It's got to be very disappointing if you're a bull. You know, they're just having any victory is just being torn from their hands. I've got to think that I'm a bear on this chart, but there's support in here. This is the area that I'm afraid of a little bit. Right there. This is resistance, support. Little under 166. I like it to short, but there's limited profit potential. There's limited downside. I only have from here to here to make money. So there's only 200 pips profit potential. But whenever I see something like that, I never assume that I'm going to make 200 pips. I never assume that I'm going to make all 200 pips. I always say, well, would I be happy with half of that? You know, because I never assume that I'm going to get everything that's available. So would I be happy with 100? So, yeah, kinda, you know, I guess. It's okay, but if I can find something better, I could probably find something better. I think this is a type of chart that we have to revisit it. Like, maybe this comes higher, maybe it comes up a bit, and then we can short it. Because right now, we're playing in a limited area. There's room to make money, but there's not a lot of room to make money. I'd prefer that there was more room to make money. It's a shame. Weird looking chart too. This sure looks like an upside down cup and handle here. GM announced in March that it'll stop selling cars in India and South Africa. Auto industry is a tough one, very difficult to make a profit. Shareholders tend to get a little impatient. You know, I wasn't aware of that story, but I know that India is implementing some sort of a Make India Great Again thing, like where they want every company to build in their country. Like if you're going to sell in our country, you got to build in our country or something like that. And I don't, you know, it might not be feasible for every company to do that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Mega, I have no idea, you know. But I didn't catch the full story on that. I'll tell you, the thing that freaked me out this week in the U.S. market was Amazon. I guess it was Friday. I guess it was a week ago almost. Was Amazon.com buying? I guess it's just Amazon now. Amazon buying Whole Foods, a supermarket chain. An online retailer buying a supermarket chain. Did everybody see this? This is the weirdest thing ever. Amazon buying Whole Foods Markets, which is an organic grocery chain. Look at, how would you feel, by the way, if you sold it the day before, and clearly a lot of people sold it the day before, right? And then it gets bought out the next day and skyrockets the next day, right? So this has me a bit freaked out because a lot of stocks drop very sharply on this news. But should they drop really sharply on this news? I mean, Walmart gets crushed on this news. World's biggest retailer gets crushed. But do they deserve to get crushed on this news? I mean, is Amazon going to take over the global food business? Costco gets crushed on this news. Crushed on this news. Really? Amazon's going to put Costco out of business by buying Whole Foods Markets? I don't think so. I don't think so. I just don't. I mean, it's not going to be that simple because it's food, all right? I'll admit, I never thought people were going to order clothing online. I always, because I'm the kind of guy, I want to try it on before I buy it. But food, I mean, really? Sometimes food is a purchase that you make on the spur of the moment. Hey, I'm in the mood for pizza. Well, I'm not going to call Amazon and order a pizza online. I don't think people are going to do that. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to be able to go to Whole Foods, pick up a shopping cart, put everything in there right on the shopping cart. No need for a cashier. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all these other places are going to go out of business. I mean, everybody can't shop at one place. I realize that Amazon's putting all these stores out of business at the mall. I mean, look at Sears going out of business. Macy's going out of business. JCPenney going out of business, right? But when it comes to food, right? Stuff that I just think it's not that simple. Because someone's going to say, hey, I'm in the mood for Chipotle. Because, I mean, you know what I mean? Someone's going to say, hey, I'm in the mood to go to Chick-fil-A today. I'm in the mood to go to McDonald's today. You know, Shake Shack, whatever the case may be. And you can't get all those things from Amazon. You know, you're in the mood for a certain thing, for a particular brand. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't see it. I'm not saying it won't work or that it's a bad idea, but you've got all these stores, every supermarket chain. Look at this one, Kroger, destroyed from 32 down to 22. They're trading like they're going out of business. It can't be so, right? This has to be a mispricing. Costco from 182 to 162. This has to be a mispricing. I think they've got to be overestimating. Right? They got to be overestimating. I mean, right now at Starbucks, right? People can order online. And then when they get to Starbucks, it's a cluster. You know what? Because the people who ordered online, there's not enough room to handle the people who ordered online separated out from the people who are ordering in store. So imagine, multiply that by 1,000, and you're going to have Whole Foods / Amazon. Because I think they're going to use it as a pickup point for people. I mean, it's brilliant. Think about it this way. You order, I don't know, a book online, and instead of having it delivered, you pick it up at Whole Foods, and you pick up some, I don't know, you pick up some granola and a salad over at Whole Foods, right? I get it. I know that makes sense. It drives foot traffic. But there's so many people ordering at Amazon. You know how much foot traffic you're going to drive there? First of all, it's going to be a logistical nightmare. I just don't see how that's going to work. You know? So to me, it's a mispricing at this point. To drive all these stocks down this far is a mispricing. Walmart's doing something similar. You see, what they're doing is a reply to Walmart. Walmart and Amazon are on a collision course. They're going to look exactly alike in 5 years. You can order almost anything online now from Walmart. And what Walmart is saying is, hey, you want free delivery? Tell you what, come to the store and pick it up. And we'll get it to the store in 1 day, and you come and pick it up for free. And it's brilliant because it drives people into the store, and then they're going to pick up, while they're in the store, they're going to pick up some milk and bread and, you know, some pots and pans or whatever, you know, whatever people buy at Walmart, you know. So that's brilliant. But they even smashed Walmart down from 80 to 74 on this news. It's crazy to drive these stocks down. I think we got to buy them. I think that they're mispricing these stocks on this news. Whole Foods was just an extremely expensive place to shop. Yeah, they call it whole paycheck, right? Because you spend your whole paycheck there. There are other places that sell good quality organic products like Trader Joe's, Earth Fare, and others. I agree. And I'll tell you where Whole Foods is dropping the ball. They have a concept called Whole Foods 365. Now, it's a brilliant idea. They create basically little stores that are basically the same as Trader Joe's, and you sprinkle them all over the place. And they're basically tiny little Whole Foods stores. And you even take the food, like the hot bar from Whole Foods, and you put it inside the 365, right? Now, they came up with the concept 2 years ago, and they opened like 6 of these places. That's pathetic execution. By the time they execute this idea, somebody else is going to do it better. Of course, they've been bought out by now. Maybe Amazon will pick up the ball and run with it, right? How about MOD Pizza becoming a potential threat to Pizza Hut and Domino's? What do you think? Now, I don't know MOD Pizza. But yeah, like, I've been a big critic of Whole Foods because they have a winning product and poor execution. Their idea is the concept store is Whole Foods 365. It's little stores, just like Trader Joe's. Or even smaller. And you put them in strip malls, right? You just dot them all over the landscape. And you take the food from the hot bar. Here's how I picture it, Carlos. You know how my vision is like this. You know how Starbucks is like it's a place to hang out, right? You bring your computer and you drink coffee and you just pay for like $5 for a thing of coffee, and maybe you take some coffee home, or you spend a little bit on this and that, and you got internet access and you hang out. You do the same thing, except instead of coffee, it's a place where you go for lunch, right? And you call it Whole Foods 365. And you got the hot bar from Whole Foods, and you can shop there like Trader Joe's, and you can hang there like Starbucks, and you bring your computer and you hang there and you write, and and you can sip on coffee if you want. You can have lunch there if you want, and you make it into like it's a restaurant. It's a place to shop, and people would love that. People would love that. It would be just as popular as Starbucks, I think. And they opened 6 of them in 2 years. It's pathetic. I can't believe how they dropped the ball on this, right? And it's just pathetic execution. You know, just, go to their website. Go to Whole Foods 365. There's like 6 of them. Pathetic, right? It's such a great idea. And by the time they build them, somebody else is going to beat them to it. They're going to take their own idea. They're going to take their idea and execute it better than them. You know, it's like, you know, I don't know what it's like. It's bad. You know, Chipotle is another one that has, like, I'm not sure about the brand names you're mentioning, but Chipotle bought a pizza outfit in Colorado that was supposed to be like an all-organic thing, and you know, it was supposed to be the same concept, like really fast pizza, but they're not executing either on that. I guess it didn't work out, but you know, if you could have an all-organic pizza thing that's just like Chipotle, like you just go and there's a line, and you get to the front of the line and you say, and you tell them what you want on your pizza. And you say, okay, I want wheat crust, and these are the ingredients that I want, and everything's fresh and it's locally grown and it's organic. This would be tremendously popular, right? And you know, but nobody's executing on these, you know, and I think whoever executes is going to win. There's a place called Roti that is in. I'll tell you. There's a franchise called Roti that's all Mediterranean. I think that would be very successful if they spread it more quickly. When I go to the West Coast, I look for a franchise called. It's a fast food place that serves nothing but fish tacos. I can't remember the name of it now. I haven't been to the West Coast lately. But that place is fantastic. They don't even have one east of the Mississippi, though. There's so many places that have potential, but they're dropping the ball on execution. All right. I'm just babbling now. I got to go. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. Anyway, got a little off topic there. So let's roll out. This has been Ed on behalf of FX Street. Thanks for listening. That's going to wrap it up for today. I will see y'all next week. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.